What's good, everybody? We're back with more World 101 podcast. I am, as always, your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me this afternoon is Eddie Blackman V,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Josh the LeGrew,
Hey, everybody.
Kathy Lower to the Stream,
Hello, everyone.
and joining us for the first time is Michael only shows up on camera when he wants to, Brown. And micro guest, Olivia.
She got it down pat. She started her first.
You're ready
podcast.
for your debut. So it's been a while since we've all got together to record. We've kind of, been hiding in hiatus, but there's been lots of stuff going on the Twitch channel and on the YouTube channel, all of which you should go check out, including our awesome giveaways that we've got going on right now. Excuse me. But we wanted to get together to kind of talk year in review and, just what were some of the highlights, the lowlights, the things that felt like they slipped by us. So but before we get into that, I'm going to toss it over to Michael and let him formally introduce himself and let y'all know a little bit about him. Tell us about you.
I'm gonna stab you.
I know you will.
Why you do this to me?
Little bit of your background in gaming.
I am probably the biggest Darksiders fan on the planet. Tekken. What else? Devil May Cry stuff. I don't know.
Okay, before we go on, Michael, did you like DMC 5?
It was all right. Like, my big thing is I really like the reboot better than the rest of them.
Thank you.
That
Like,
one's good.
Yeah, the reboot, like, it just the way that it handled, like I went into that story knowing that Virgil was going to betray you, and I was still shocked when it happened. It was a really well done game. Like, it was much more user friendly than the other ones have been. Like, much more just accessible, and I enjoyed every bit of it. I was very disappointed when I found they were doing a new one. The fifth one was good. It just, as I said, it was just more of the same, basically. So, I don't know.
Actually,
go ahead. There.
You may not be aware, but I have Michael to thank for some of my library. Several years ago, he gifted me my Xbox One as a wedding gift. So he was the reason that I finally got to play Ori and several others.
Nice.
So
I love Ori and the Blind Forest. I hate some of the stuff, like when you gotta try to escape, and if you died, you gotta do the whole long section again. But Ori's good.
I don't have an issue with that. It's one of those, like, you better get it right.
Yeah,
And it forces you to learn it.
Just don't die.
Forgiving in comparison to how it could be. Like,
Yes.
a lot of
Oh,
those
yeah.
games like that would have made you do the entire temple or whatever
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
So the fact that it, starts you right at the beginning of the escape sequence, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So Eddie, what we're just we haven't seen a whole ton of you this year. You've kind of fucked off with your other friends.
You know what?
Oh, that's so mean.
So
That was mean.
I know, but I love Corey too, and he knows it. Shut up. So what were your highlights and lowlights for the year in gaming?
Okay, so I kind of made a list for it, and I try to balance it with some good things and some bad things. I think if we started at the top of the year, one of the biggest things starts on a kind of bad note, and that was Anthem, a fiasco mess. On the way that the game was released, the beta wasn't working. Even though it sold well, it just didn't live up to the hype. But I actually can say that I enjoy Anthem. Like, actually playing it, it kind of showcased BioWare still knows how to make great gameplay. Their ideas probably didn't succeed well. But I think overall it was a good game. Even though like now it's like $5.99 or $10 at some places. Um, People really clowned it for, I think, because of the way that the game was designed, that forcing you to play with four people, and the way that some of the level structure was put together. I think if they would have kept it like an open world thing, and where you don't have to keep jumping back to the town to get missions and stuff, I think Anthem could have fit like a GTA narrative and the GTA design of an open world game. I think that would have worked for Anthem. Because like the flying is good and the shooting is really good. Like it, and it sound literally. I think when you play Anthem, it's a game that you need a great surround sound, or you need a headset, because the sound mixing in this game is phenomenal. Like it really sounds good.
And what would be some of your lowlights? What were your disappointments this year?
One of my biggest disappointments actually was like review bombing. I think there was a lot of games that pretty much was treated unfair. That got review bombed. The release of Stadia was very disappointing, because it just showcased that you can't throw out something that's going to be 4K 60 frames per second and then not even delivered it. And then even when your pre-sales are open, you don't even fulfill your pre-sales. So
Yeah,
it
how
was
do you
just
not
like,
fulfill pre-sales on something where the quantities are literally unlimited because it's all digital?
yeah. E3 Ubisoft was just terrible at E3 this year. That thing was literally them, and Bethesda was a little bit better, but it was still boring. I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is just not great. Sony didn't really do anything this year worthwhile, and that's sad. Once again, they don't market anything. They just put stuff out and move on
Sony
to their.
was really quiet this year. It was fucking weird.
Well, they
Yeah.
released everything last year,
Right.
and they're in that development cycle.
Well, even if they released stuff last year, any game that you that gets released, promote it. And they didn't. They really didn't promote anything. Concrete Genie came out, didn't promote it.
They didn't even people didn't even know it was releasing because they didn't say anything.
Exactly.
I didn't realize that it fucking released
Yeah,
till
think-
like
It's a
3
VR
seconds ago.
It's a VR game, right?
Is it?
Is Concrete Genie console or just VR?
It's console and VR.
it has a VR component if you want to use it in VR.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I haven't bought it yet, because I thought it was only VR.
Yeah.
And I have
Uh,
VR, so
They made a console because you can play with the controller. Dude, I bought it for like $15 at Black Friday at Best Buy, because it was just like, I'm like, you guys are not marketing a first party game. Like, you show the stuff in State of Play and then don't give us no release date or anything. Because I even think the Iron Man VR came out, I think. And I'm like, wait,
No, they didn't come out yet.
it didn't come out yet? Okay.
No.
So yeah, Sony just like really dropped the ball. Borderlands 3 is okay. I don't think it was worth the discussion to have with Epic getting the year's exclusive. But I think now that after people played it, I think people who play it on Steam don't have nothing to worry about. Like, it's not worth the year wait or anything. Like,
No.
it can't.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah. The Game Awards was really good. That was one of my highlights. I really did enjoy the Game Awards. Some of the trailers
I think
all
you're
kind
the only one.
huh?
I think you're the only one.
That enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I would say this. It felt a little bit tighter. That was good. I
Yep.
think last year trailer wise was better than this year. I think because of all the indies that they were showing last year, we actually got a good idea what was coming, and everything felt different. 70% of the trailers outside of Nintendo, everything always felt like a first person game. And you didn't really get a sense of what this game is going to be about. Like, you got cutscenes, but it's just like, where's the gameplay? Like, what are you guys really working on? Are you working on making trailers, or are you working on making a game?
Honestly, I was more excited trailer-wise for the fake trailers in the Game Awards this year than I was most of the days.
You know,
Like, goddamn Hero looked awesome.
That wasn't real.
I know, right?
You know what?
The fucking bunnies with the guns looked awesome.
I literally thought it was like a level 5 kind of anime type game. I don't know who actually does that kind of animation, but I'm just like, wait, what is this? And why do I not have it on my console or on my DVD player?
Right. Like,
Blu-ray?
this is bullshit that this is not a real game that I'm gonna have.
Right. I was just like, this is a weird take. Well, it wasn't a weird take, but I'm like, this is Ni no Kuni, the black version. Like, I'm like, what is this? I want it so much. What is this story? Like, literally, you could put a Daft Punk beat to this anime, and it would probably be like a bomb video to it. Like, I really enjoyed it. I was happy that Gris won New Direction or New Impact. I was so happy that they won an award.
All right, quick check. Nobody told Eddie about that, right?
No, I
I'm
didn't.
still keeping that a secret.
Yeah.
That was the
We've been arguing about how that shit's been pronounced for all fucking year.
Oh,
Yep.
Gree.
And then we find out Eddie was fucking right. God
Was
damn
he?
it.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's saying Greece. It's
Gree.
Greece. They
Greece.
said Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've been saying Greece the
I think-
whole time.
I
Eddie's
think-
the one that's been saying Greece.
I was saying Gree too.
Yeah, because like at first I was saying Gris, because the way that if you look at it, you don't really think I sounded like an E, because it's one of the games that just came out of nowhere. You seen the art style, was captivated by it, and then you just like, how do you even say the name? Like, I had to listen to Game Informer, the Game Informer show, to actually find out how to say the name about it, because Devolver Digital didn't say anything about it. And yeah, shout out to Devolver Digital. They clowned again this year with
They've
games.
been on some like monstrous bullshit the last year or so. Like they're fucking just churning shit out.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure they just like, I'm not convinced that they aren't like taking over the Disney factory overnights to churn out their shit with that kind of production rate.
yeah.
Like just game after game, and they have their name attached to. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what does your dev team look like, and do any of them sleep?
Right. Like, I love the fact that they're giving all of these indies and developers all this creative freedom and pushing out interesting, weird, cool ideas like Observation. The monster one that they showed at E3 that was eating people and stuff. Like, all of this stuff, Katana Zero, just like, thank you.
Katana Zero is really fucking cool, by the way. I've been
Yes.
playing to that off and on, and that's really good.
Yes, like I feel like they pushed the envelope of indies and really gave people a different perspective, that not everything has to be a 8-bit style Metroidvania kind of game. Do something very creative and see the rewards that people are playing this creativity, because you cannot say that the games at Devolver Digital all feel the same. Everything feels different and innovative.
Yeah,
I
they're
just
so
wish.
weird and wild.
Yes, and like they're probably one of the developers I would definitely support. Getting physical or getting digital or just anything they put out. Not anything, but some of the stuff that they put out. It's just like, there's people who gonna come and support this, and I love that about Devolver Digital. Like they from where they started to where they are now, they just evolved into something really big. So shout out to Devolver Digital. They clowned this year with some great games.
I'm actually really surprised that Devolver hasn't been putting out like, you know, $40, $50 compilations of, you know, 3 to 4 games at a clip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they may eventually.
Yeah. So that's just some of mine. And the last one I kind of want to say that the guy who did the phone call who got that one man killed, I'm glad that he got caught. I mean, I think
Not that shit.
Yeah, I think he got 20, 25 years or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it wasn't enough, and fuck him too.
Yeah, but still waiting for the other two. Like we got to see what they're going to be charged, and I hope they get charged too.
It's weird that we basically have to invent a whole new fucking category of crime and prosecution for this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit fucking makes my brain itch. But
Yeah. Yeah, and all the Nintendo first party, like Nintendo once again clown. So
Nintendo was on it with first party, but it seems so weird to see them so not present at the Game Awards this year compared to the 4 years previous.
That's
That
Reggie.
was fucking strange.
I think that's Reggie.
And it may well be, truthfully.
Yeah.
So, but and I've got some thoughts that have been brewing over the last couple days on the Game Awards, but I'll circle back to that later. We'll hop over to Kathy. Hit me with the highlights for the year.
Highlights. Well, I'm trying to think back. It seems like it's been forever since January was here. I definitely nothing really this year struck my fancy, except you guys did introduce me to some really good games that I would have missed out on, such as Hollow Knight, which I know is an older game at this point, but but you know, being able to get to play that and getting to introduce my daughter to that world. Now she's a huge fan. I mean, everything she started drawing tons of Hollow Knight stuff. In fact, she made a pumpkin
Oh, cool.
with the knight on it. So it's a paper mache pumpkin.
Aww.
You know, I actually love that.
Yeah,
That's
this is
super
my
cute.
daughter's. My daughter's a wonderful artist. She also made a shadow box of Green Path, where she's got.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll have to show you a picture of it at some point. But yeah, she made a shadow box. It's kind of hard to see. She didn't get a chance to finish it, but so between so for her, being able to share that with her and just how excited she is. Plus, I can say this because she won't listen to this. And she's not home. We're getting her Hornet, a stuffed Hornet, because she is so excited.
I know.
about
I saw that. I want it.
We got it. It's on its way for Christmas because she really is looking forward to Silk Song. In fact, every time she sees a new indie direct, she's like, "Mom, no Silk Song announcement. No Silk." So she and I have something we're looking forward to. Fortnite that's probably the game I've played the most, and it's had its highs and lows. Highlights with regards to Fortnite was the big event and changing over to Chapter 2. That, I think, was a great ploy on their part.
That was the best update they ever put out, and I'm sad that it's gone again.
But
To bring back the black hole.
I mean, you have to admit,
innovation of the year.
that was probably their best marketing because it did get everyone hyped up for the new season, and they did change things graphically. They did change things with the map, so it did get fun for a while. But now, it's just another game. Other highlights.
Oh, and shout outs to the Batman one, the Batman deals.
Batman,
Fortnite.
the
That
Batman
one was good.
Yes, not so sure about this Star Wars one. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. Some other highlights. I think I had more lowlights this year than highlights. But I I think overall it's just been kind of a slow gaming year for me. Not really much has come out that's piqued my interest, and there hasn't been really anything that's caught my attention to play, and that's kind of a sad thing. So, but I am excited. Oh, and with the Shovel Knight DLC,
Ah, yes.
the Shovel Knight
Have you
DLC.
dinked around with that yet?
Not yet, but my kids have been, and
Have you
Um,
seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces of it from my
You
kids.
get what I'm talking about now?
Yes, and even my daughter made the exact same comment you made. It was like almost word for word when we were talking about it. So,
I was just showing Michael before we started, actually.
but my kids are enjoying the fighting part of it where they can
Showdown?
fight.
Showdown.
Yeah, the showdown. They're having a blast with that. In fact, I have not seen them get along as well as they have all year playing showdown. So,
Nice.
but yeah. So I mean, I did get introduced to a few new games, but really, it's been kind of a slow year.
That's
Right on.
understandable.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see. My year started off with my hard drive, one of my hard drives crapping out, so we couldn't play games for a while. And it ended
I
with the
was
hard
saying
drive.
it ended the same way.
I was thinking that same
Oh
thing.
no, your hard drive crashed again?
My SS card went out. My
Any of you not been in chat?
He's not. He doesn't care what I have to say. It's all
do
about what
care.
you say, Larry. It's all about you.
I
Come
care
on, we
what
know.
Eric Kathleen has to say.
No, you don't, because you
Yes,
would
I
not. You
do.
didn't even notice. I've been talking about it for a week. How I don't have a PC and I can't play any of my games. Where
thought
have
that
you
was-
been?
I thought that was Dylan that said that. Yeah.
God, Eddie. I love you, Eddie. I really do.
Thank you so much, Kathleen.
I do. I really do.
Is
But
this one of your, look? Is this one of your highlights?
no, this is definitely not. Because you have not. I have not been able to meet you in person. Now that would have been a highlight.
Yes.
There's still people I have to meet from the group. So, but anyhow, no, it's just truthfully, it's been also a disappointment. The Game Awards were a disappointment to me. I just nothing really caught my eye. I'm disappointed that I didn't have the funds to be able to get Link's Awakening for the Switch. So that's been a bummer because I
You're still
love
holding out on that?
what?
You're still holding out on that, aren't you?
Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't
yeah?
been picking
Yeah.
up. So that sucks, but I'll get it eventually. And like I said, with the PC issues and then just health wise too, I haven't been able to play as much as I wanted to. But I mean, I'm hoping this year, and I'm hoping there's going to be some games that pique my interest because Fortnite is getting old. I just play it now because I'm a completionist. I can't let challenges go. So I just play it till I complete their daily and weekly challenges.
It's more out of habit and ritual than interest anymore.
Yes, and I'm hoping to find a game that gets me back into the interest. That's why I'm looking forward to Silksong. That's why I really want to get Link's Awakening, even though I've played Link's Awakening for like when it first originally came out on the handheld Game Boy. I want to see it with the updated graphics and the.
It's beautiful.
Play Blast
it-
Smiths.
Well, and I will have that coming up, but again, that's not. I can't say anything
I know.
till I get my copy. So once I get my
Understandable,
copy.
which that's I say that's going to be late Q1, early Q2 when that ships, but
Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah.
I will say I was really and this is something I wanted to touch on later, but I was really surprised at how fast they turned that around from, here's your digital in a game to okay, we're going to give you a banging fucking collector's physical. Because normally LRG is not that fast to go. This thing just came out and we're going to crank a physical. They're usually it's like, all right, this has been out for 6, 8, 12 months, and there's interest. We're going to put out a physical, but that was a matter of like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like Jesus,
Yeah.
that might be about the fastest I've ever seen them turn that out. So, but what were the lowlights? What were the significant disappointments this year?
Well, aside from my computer crapping out more times than it should have, I was disappointed in some of the
Clearly
Fortnite
didn't
stuff.
download the Imodium patch.
Oh god. Okay, there's a low light right there. All of Larry's puns this year have been definite like want-wants. I think I was disappointed a lot, and I also, even though I liked where Fortnite went with the thing, I was disappointed in just the extra and add-ons. I was talking with somebody about this. We were really hoping to see an It crossover, but that got stopped. And I have a feeling it's because so many kids play, they didn't want to put a horror movie in it. And then again, not being able to get the games I really wanted to play due to some life issues and not having the funds to be able to do that. It made it rough because there wasn't a lot for me to do this year game-wise. And I kind of lost towards this end, and especially around September, I just really lost any desire to play games, and it was kind of bad because there just wasn't anything interesting. Now, Epic, with all their free games, I've picked up every single game that they've had for free.
I think I may have missed a few over the last few weeks, but I was.
What was that?
So I think I missed a few of them over the last several weeks. I was just thinking, I'm like, I haven't seen my pop-ups for that coming up in a while.
Yeah, I've picked up everything. I mean, now I've got a Lego Batman. I mean, there's some really good games. I mean, we got the Batman series with the 3 Lego Batman games and all the Arkham games.
Oh yeah.
Which is, when you think about it, so I guess that's kind of a highlight. But there's some games too that you guys have mentioned that I was able to pick up. But I haven't completed BioShock, I haven't completed Rime, haven't completed Doom, and I just haven't had the desire to go back. Which is kind of bad. And now I'm worried I gotta start. And I'm sorry, and I'm feeling like, shoot, now it shouldn't have happened, but I'm worried that all my save data is gone. So now I'm gonna have to start all the way back at the beginning. So it's like,
you were only doing like the first chapter of Rime at least, right?
Yeah, I know, but I still got to start over again. And Doom, I was about halfway through it.
Which Doom?
The remake.
The remake.
Steam.
Depending if you're trying to get like the special weapons and like special abilities and stuff, I think you could probably complete it within a weekend or so. Like,
I got stuck on one level and I couldn't get, and I just got mad, like I always do. I rage quit a lot when it comes to video games. But Larry, you and I talked about this. You get to a point where you just seem like you can't defeat something. Then you leave it. You're like, fudge it, I'm going. Then you come back the next day and you're like, it's like the first time. Oh,
yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Yeah, no, Doom has not
I had
been
a lot
like
of
that.
that with Blasphemous.
Well, it's usually like that for me. Doom, not so much. I have had a hard time in this one area, and I just cannot get past it.
It's kind of a different game too. Like they reward the up close kills and the glory kills and things like that, and it's a different way to play for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Doom is
very much drives you into close quarters combat. As shooters go. Most shooters are like, you should totally be like mid to long range, and we'll give you some options for up close and personal, but it's the less ideal way to play. But Doom is very much like, oh no, get all up in that bitch's face and stick a chainsaw through him.
Yeah. Well, even with that, it's just the one thing about Doom is movement. You got to move. If you don't move or anything, they're going to attack and kill you. Like, it makes you think on your feet. It makes you want to switch up your weapons. But you got to shotgun them. You got to shoot them right there. You got to just jump around, float, do whatever you got to do to get them around. Like, they will be aggressive if you're not aggressive.
And I think my problem is with having played Fortnite, I keep hitting buttons to build.
You gotta build up some carnage.
I'm trying to build structures to protect myself, and I can't. I catch myself trying to do that in Apex a lot, where if I've been playing Fortnite and then I go into Apex, I have to get used to not being able to build and just not having that defensive. Whereas now in Fortnite, I've got it down pat, and the minute I hear gunfire, I'm building. It's funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but anyhow, no, I'm looking forward to this upcoming year. What with the new job and hopefully some new extra money that I can spend on games. And I did pick up Grease for free from the Game Awards Twitter feed. that they had. So I'm looking.
I grabbed Disco Elysium out of that set.
I was I tried to get it, but by the time I got on there, they were all gone.
I was saying, the only reason I did Disco Elysium is because I already had Grease physical, so like there wasn't a whole lot of point to that. And Disco Elysium looked interesting, and it just kind of slipped under my radar. So I'm like, no, fuck it, this won't cost me anything. So
I have to ask you.
And that was what I was hoping to do, but unfortunately I couldn't. So I thought, well, I don't have Grease, and I thought, well, everybody's talked about it in our chat, so in our group, let me get it and see what I think.
Right.
Did Grease sell out on LRG?
It wasn't on LRG. Oh, the PS4 version?
The PS4 version, yes, but I thought it was they never did a Switch version, did they?
No, because the Switch version came from Special Reserve, I think.
Oh, they split it.
Yeah, no, Special Reserve did Grease early this year, and it wasn't until, and I had missed it completely until it was already gone, and then a couple months ago, they're like, hey, really popular, we're going to do a second run of this, here you go. And
I didn't even know.
For the Switch version.
Oh, I didn't know
their version, by the way, nicer than the PS4 version coming from LRG. Because
I seen it
LRG's PS4 is just, case, manual, and disc. The Switch version from Special Reserve has the real pretty slip cover with the art cards and everything in there. So, and the art book.
And they're all sold out again.
They might still have some.
No, they're gone.
They're gone?
They're gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I seen it on LRG for the PS4, I'm like,
yeah,
where's the Switch version at?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they got the PS4 rights, but no, Special Reserve had done one of them. I can't keep the two fucking straight, honestly, but which I feel bad about. They're the same ones that did The Messenger.
Okay.
I think that might be Special Reserve. But yeah, Special Reserve, because I've got Gardens Between coming from Super Rare. I had to think that out for a second. But yeah, they did all the Switch ones for Green. They did a beautiful job. Which there is an unboxing for that up on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, because I picked up Divinity 2 Original Sin of LRG.
Yeah.
I gotta get this for Switch before it gets snapped. So,
right.
But yeah, back to you guys. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna spin this around a minute just to ease you in, because I know this is gonna be easier for you. Michael, we're gonna split yours up here between before and after break, but I'm gonna throw you the easy one for you first. What were your low lights of the year?
My biggest low light this year was the fact that the new Darksiders came out on PC December 5th. It doesn't come out till next year for me.
Yeah, what is it? 14th of February.
Poor baby.
I have it reserved too, and it's like February.
Wah, wah. Y'all making fun of me for playing PC, and I get all the games.
But it's only PC and Stadia, right?
No, right now it's just I think PC and Stadia. It comes out for all the consoles on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Stadia is your gateway to PC.
Which
Oh,
which can I say, Michael, that Darksider Genesis now is probably the leading game in February, since Ori is moved to March and Last of Us 2 is moved to May. Nothing right. Oh, go ahead.
no, sounds good to me. Like,
Yeah,
I said, I've already I normally don't watch a lot of gaming reviews, but I'm watching every little bit I can about this, just because, as I said, I got to feed my obsession, and it looks fantastic. Just plus it's more Darksider story, so I'm happy already.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm happy they managed to get the whole cast back. That actually, it's the same people and everything. It's just. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know it's a game that I'm definitely getting on Switch. So
I bought that because at the time I pre-ordered it, I didn't have a Switch yet. That was actually one of my highlights, was buying a Switch this year.
oh,
Like, it's been way better of a system than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Spent 2 years telling you
Yeah,
this.
such a hormone.
well, you know,
Oh,
well,
jeez.
That's our repeating relationship. Is I will spend years telling you you will love this thing. You spend years telling me, "Fuck you, I'm not gonna," and then I get you to sit down. And you're like, "God damn it!"
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
This started
Larry.
with Doctor Who. How many years ago?
Yeah, you gave me how many different sets of Doctor Who on disc, and then I finally sat down and was like, all right, I get it.
Watched like one episode, and you're like, "Son of a bitch, I have to go home and watch the rest of this now."
Doctor Who sucks. Oh wait.
Which reminds me, new season finally starts in a week or so.
Oh, I might
Yep.
have to actually catch up finally.
I know.
I've
I'm
seen
like
the ads for it.
right now, so-
I know you are. I'm still shocked you haven't watched the last season of Capaldi.
No. What is it like? the other
Especially
Capaldi
considering it's got one of your favorites throughout the whole damn season.
Hmm.
It's got Nardole all damn
stuff?
season.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, guys, stop fighting over there.
Oh, nobody's fighting. I'm just stunned he's put it off this long.
Yeah, but you're getting very loud, and it's getting very hard to hear my Fortnite game.
Wow.
Wow,
So-
what? What? Don't you guys
So,
play
any
World War
other
II with
lowlights before we, for you, Michael, before we break and come back with highlights for you?
No. Like, I'm sure there's shit I just don't remember right now.
Right.
Like I said, that was decades ago in Michael time. So,
All
yeah,
right.
I'm good.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, we'll before we pause for break, I'm going to throw out the reminder that we do have 2 fantastic giveaways going right now. The smaller of the 2 is we are giving away a free copy of Dust and Elysian Tale Standard Edition on Switch from Limited Run Games. And if you you'll find the links in the description. But if you go like and comment on our unboxing of Dust and Elysian Tale on the YouTube channel, once that video hits 100 likes, we're going to grab somebody out of the comments and they're going to win that shit for free. And then
Yay!
the big in, which we
Biggin.
touched on briefly, is we are giving away a free collector's edition of Blasphemous on Switch from Limited Run Games. When we hit, we're looking to hit 200 followers on our Twitch channel. Again, link in the description for the for this podcast episode. So go follow us on Twitch, and once we hit our 200 followers, we're gonna throw up a live stream. We're gonna do some. We're gonna run through some Blasphemous for shits and giggles on live stream, and somebody on that live stream is gonna win a free copy of Blasphemous Collector's Edition on Switch from Limited Run Games on us. So, like I said, two awesome giveaways. One of them absolutely huge, especially considering Blasphemous. All 2,000 copies sold out in under 13 minutes.
Did they
Yeah.
really?
It did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Batch
Mhm.
1 went in under 60 seconds. Batch 2 in under 12.
Wow.
2,000 copies gone in 13 minutes. And one of them
Yeah.
could be yours for fucking free. So with that said, we're going to hit the pause button here for a break, and we'll be back in just a minute. So, break, and we're back. So, we're going to pick up where we left off. We got Michael's lowlights. What were your highlights for the 2019?
Like I said, buying the Switch, that has been absolutely fantastic. Like, so many good games for it. And then, like any new system, I ended up rebuying half the games I already owned for it anyway.
Yep.
It's embarrassing how often I do that.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir.
I
You're-
know.
I was
you
gonna say, I
know
think a lot of people
much
do
shit
that.
I double, triple, quadruple, and quintuple dipped on.
Yeah, like Hollow Knight, I think I've bought 3 times, and
I think I'm
Shovel Knight I've bought 3 times, and just
Yeah.
I think I'm into Hollow Knight and Shovel Knight for about 5 a pop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it? Indivisible was a lot better than I was expecting it to be.
Oh, okay.
Because I threw in on the Kickstarter for it years ago, and completely forgot about it up until they're like, "Hey, your game shipped." They're like,
Oh,
"Oh."
okay.
So that turned out to be better than like the story was fantastic. The gameplay itself, the combat was very interesting. The gameplay itself got a little tedious after a while because there was like what was it? There's certain parts of it that are traversal based. All the stuff you get is traversal based for it. So by the end of the game, they put you through this gauntlet where you had to use all of it. Like it took me gritty. It was very similar to that fucking palace from Hollow Knight.
Fuck the White Palace.
Yeah,
I love that area. It
That
sucks,
shit
but
all
it's awesome.
Shit, fuck the White Palace and the asshole responsible for that.
Oh, grow up.
I can't like. Yeah,
The game
Blast was fantastic, and just little games here and there. Like, another low light, by the way, is I'm currently playing through. The fuck was that? Soul Calibur 6, and it's boring the shit out of me.
Oh,
Yikes.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
I've been a big fan of both that and Tekken for a very long time, and like neither of them are really doing much for me at this point. It's just,
I don't think I've seen a major interest in Soul Calibur since 2.
Yeah, you're pretty much right.
Well,
Like
it was
after 2, I decided I was done with Soul Calibur until I could start dismembering people.
Well, because a lot of people wanted Soul Calibur and Tekken to be on a Nintendo platform too. People were just like, we will play this on a Nintendo platform if you guys would bring it.
Well, I had it on a Nintendo platform. It was awesome on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Because Link was in it, and that's the one that most people bought, surprisingly. So
even regardless of Link, it just the controller for the GameCube felt great with Soul Calibur 2.
Oh yes,
the GameCube controller was probably one of the best controllers made.
I like it. I know like a lot of people don't, but I think that controller is awesome. So.
Oh, I adore it.
Yeah.
Especially as I'm sitting here spending more time with it again recently, playing through the Prime games on our Twitch channel.
Oh yeah.
I think one of the characters from Soul Calibur is going to be in the next Smash. Because
that'd be cool.
Like Bandai Namco don't have only Pac-Man. I think that's the only representation it has as a fighter. I'm just like, come on, Bandai Namco, y'all making the game. Convince Sakurai to be like, let's get one of our characters in this game.
Technically, we already do because Link is in Smash.
True.
But that's a Nintendo character. Bandai Namco needs a character in it, besides Pac-Man. Don't try to make a workaround around this.
Why not?
Don't talk to me about mental gymnastics, Eddie.
I will see you in March.
You fucking better. We haven't seen you in almost a year.
I like how ominous that was. I'll see you in March.
Yes, because he already knows the spots that I want to go to. In that punk, you better take me to King Gyro, or we're gonna have a situation at hand. We already know Evil Check is on the list. So.
Yeah, it's back once fall. I tried to fix it,
but yeah. And actually, Eddie, because you haven't gotten to go yet, Kathy's gone. We got to take you to Barbisi.
Ah, yes.
Oh my God, Barbisi's so good.
What is Barbisi?
If Eddie would have came up when I was visiting, which he
Right.
backed out because I know he doesn't want to be or he doesn't want to share you.
I was at work. I had to work
Bull!
Excuses.
Excuses.
So, and because Michael has, and he hasn't been. So, Barbisi is a fairly newish Italian joint up here in town, but it's not your usual Italian fare. They specialize in Italian street food.
It's so good.
Like sandwiches and basically pastas that you can pick up and go with. And here's the one that'll baffle you, Michael. It's a new venture from the folks that own Hacienda.
Really?
Really. And it is so good.
It is. It is
Oh my
such
God.
a good place.
That
Oh
steak
my
and
God.
pancettas. Oh,
That was amazing. Oh, okay. We gotta stop talking. I don't
Yeah,
have.
because I'm hungry right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
talk
yeah.
people check yet.
Haven't been there yet.
okay, that I get enough pictures of, and I curse you every time you send those pictures.
I know,
You
it's
know.
food porn. It's awesome.
You're horrible. It's
You-
horrible.
Larry already knows that I require that like-
That's a staple. That's a weekend finisher every time.
every
and
time.
we better be going when I come visit.
Fucking duh. So
Oh fuck, I missed.
We gotta
Sorry.
get the job.
I'm playing Fortnite and I missed my sniper shot.
We gotta get the Josh because I want to hear what his highlights and lowlights are.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
let's turn it over. LeGrew, hit me with your highlights.
I'm gonna. This is a highlight and a low light, and it's the one that Eddie touched on, which is Anthem. I really enjoyed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed Anthem when it first came out. I enjoyed the flying mechanic; was well done. The game had enough content to get you going, get you started. There was problems with it, but I was willing to forgive some of that stuff, and then it just snowballed down.
Triple T.
Yep, yeah, it just totally took a just totally went off the rails, I think. And I heard that they are going to be redoing some of that content in that game and kind of like retooling that whole game.
Okay.
So it would be interesting to see how if they're able to actually recover from it. But like Eddie said, you can get it for like $10 now. I just was at Walmart today and it was like $12.99, brand new. So I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Best Buy had it. Best Buy had it this week for $5.99.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
they're just blowing it out. They're
Wow.
just blowing it out. And I think that's like an example of a game that crossplay could really be beneficial for, just because the community is probably small on both consoles, and it would be nice to have them play together. But that's the highlight and a low light. And the other highlights, I mean, obviously, like anything from my Switch that I played this year. I mean, I played like a Robot Named Fight. I got that game at first, and I got it for when it was on sale. I think it was like $1.87
Yeah,
when I got it.
sucks.
And it was I was kind of like I dabbled with it here and there. I liked it, but I didn't really get into it. And then I took a plane trip, and on the plane I played it, and I just got hooked to it. And then I signed up for Patreon. I donate on Patreon now to Matt every month. We had Matt on the show. I have tons of
Talking
questions
with him
for him
recently on Twitch.
now. I have tons of questions for him now. So I'm like, I'm gonna.
We're talking. I've been talking to him about having him back on when we come back from hiatus.
Don't they have a new update for that coming?
Yeah.
new
Yes.
And for
update,
Switch,
like
it's updated.
today.
It's updated for
Oh, it's
Switch
Today?
as well. Yes.
Yeah, new
Oh,
contents live, new meat beasts and all sorts of shit. Yeah,
Yeah, he's really
I
been.
got a
Nice.
sneak peek at some of that about a month ago. He was play testing some of his patch stuff on Twitch.
Yep.
And he and I were
Ooh.
shooting the shit on Twitch a little bit.
nice.
I'm about to do an update then.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely have to, because the stuff he's updating is, to me, it's a game that started off great and now it's turned into amazing.
Mhm.
He really listens to and he's continually developing it. That's why I signed up to support him on Patreon too. Only a couple bucks a month, but I felt like getting the
Couple bucks
game.
is good.
Yeah, but I felt like getting the game for $2.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
kind of owed
highway
it.
robbery.
I kind of owed it to
Yeah.
him.
Guilty
You know?
about it.
Yeah, and I really enjoy the fact that he listens to the community and he's
Yeah.
building the game that everyone wants to play, even himself. So I
He's
enjoy
really
that.
involved community-wise, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
And he's doing a
Mhm.
great job with the grassroots efforts to foster his community, which I think is awesome. And I can't wait, because what's going to happen. We're going to get some kind of physical release for it eventually.
I bloody well hope so.
Yeah. So that would be good. But other than that, highlights, like I said, anything from my Switch I played, and I've dabbled in a lot, haven't really completed much. And that's kind of the problem. I did a lot of Game Pass. Gears 5 is definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
I love that game. The only complaint I have for it is that it really is like two games split. It almost feels like it's one game split in two, because the ending isn't really an ending. It's more like a pause. I felt anyway. I don't know, Eddie. You played it, right?
Yes, I did. I beat it.
Yeah. What did you
Um,
think about the ending? I mean, I kind of thought like it didn't seem like, it almost seemed like they rushed to the ending.
It felt like it's like a remake version of part 4's boss fight. and then seeing where they go in with this
Right.
ending, it was just like, I know there's more to it, um,
Right.
but I kind of felt like this, if they would have made this game Gears 4 and then went on to something else, I think the ending would benefit. So because
Right.
now it was just like a certain part that happened in Gears 5 before you get to the ending, it feels like it's forgotten in a sense.
Right.
So
Right.
it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with 6. If something is something like really big and major happens, like if there's a twist,
right.
it would be interesting to see where they go with that.
Yeah, I agree. And so, I mean, for me, that's a highlight. And I kind of like, I know we'll circle back probably around to the Game Awards, but I was kind of upset, not upset, but just kind of like, it got like totally snubbed on that,
Unbound.
like not even mentioned really. And so I'm like, okay, all right. Cause it seemed like, Death Stranding, which is actually, believe it or not, is another highlight for me. I've been dabbling in it now a little bit.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I haven't really sat down and played it a lot. I mean, because it's kind of my life. You're like delivering stuff, so I'm like, I don't need to work for 70
Busy
hours a
delivering
week
everybody else's
and then
stuff
go
for them
and
to
then go
play.
back, and then go back home and deliver stuff too. So I'll take a break from that. But I like the idea of the game, and the game has actually surprised me a lot more than I thought it was going to. So I like that. I don't know if I have any more highlights really. Like I said, anything from my Switch I've been playing, I just love this year. So my lowlights is, like I said, another one is Anthem, which was a highlight and a lowlight. Other than that, my lowlight is I haven't been getting as much time to play games as I want, and that's just kind of like being an adult, I think.
Adulting sucks sometimes.
Yeah, if people would have told me what it was like, I would have just not done it. But so that's and I wouldn't have believed them anyway. So because I'm thinking to myself, when you're a kid, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to have all this money and I'm going to have this stuff, but you don't have the time that you did as a kid. It's kind of this weird dichotomy of things that happen.
Exactly.
When
you can have the money, but then you don't have the time.
And it's a vice versa thing.
Yeah, one or the other, never both.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like my dad told me once that you should be retired when you're young and then work when you get older. And I'm like, I'm on board with that, but who's going to, fund me in that? So
Right.
But no, I am carving out some more time to play games in the new year.
Nice.
So that's kind of like I'm remedying that situation. And another highlight for me, and I said remedy, by the way, is Control. That game is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I never heard of that till the Game Awards.
I know. And the problem is it's a double A game, but the problem is Remedy had like a C+ budget for it, so nobody really knew to market it. Nobody really knew about it, and they had that little marketing push with Sony. But Sony, this is definitely a low light, and Eddie touched on it too. Is Sony's PR? Whoever is doing PR at Sony needs to be really fired, because they cannot get marketing right, and then they release like 4 games that are like the same in the same week.
Yeah,
they'll release like 2 golf games right away, one after another, or they'll release, I don't get it, they're splitting their base, and I just don't understand. It's just like, oh, we're just gonna shit this stuff out and you're gonna buy it or you're not, and we're not gonna care. And if I was these developers, some of these indie developers or smaller developers, I would be angry. I would be really angry about, especially people who did Concrete Genie, because they got basically shafted. They got the total shaft. I mean, they didn't even get. They just got a little blog post in the drop, and that was it.
Media Molecule got shafted because Dreams, like, even though this is an alpha thing, this is a real big thing that you guys were highlighting at E3.
Yep.
Why not push more of it? You want people to be creative. This is a game for creativity. Why you guys are not pushing it?
Right.
Yep. Oh, and I almost forgot about this as a highlight too. I want to end on a good note. Red Dead 2. I really enjoyed Red Dead 2. It's the only game this year I probably, other than Robot Named Fight, that I put in 100+ hours into it. And I put in 100+ hours because it was the necessity of the game. And after about 60, I was kind of over with it. But I wanted to keep playing it because I wanted to see the end of the story. And then when I got to the end of the story and then they threw the epilogues at me, I was pissed because I'm like, I want the trophy for the epilogue, so I got to keep playing it. So I played, and that was another
Aw.
6 hours. 6 hours because there's 2 epilogues. They're like 3 hours each.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I was at like 102, 103 hours before I started the epilogues, and it was about 110 hours. What I put in.
Wow.
And I could still do more stuff in the game.
Mhm.
I just like decided, no, I'm done. And I enjoyed that game though. I really did enjoy it. So
Good.
Yeah, a big highlight for me was definitely Astral Chain, like a game we didn't even know Nintendo Platinum was working on, and then it came out and it became that and Fire Emblem were 2 hard games to find because they were just literally sold out physically.
Eddie, you bought the physical on Astral Chain, didn't you?
I what my low light, not buying no more games from Amazon at all.
oh yeah, because you had
I
the
didn't get my Astral Chain right because I bought Astral Chain and I bought that Fire Emblem, the $100 one, the collection. I bought all of that pre-purchased
and it was
didn't get it.
misdelivered or whatever. Or
Yes. So I
somebody
literally had.
stole. Porch
Yeah.
Pirate got it.
They realized that the person who delivered it never delivered it to my house.
Nice.
Fuck.
So they
Somebody's got a copy of it.
someone got
So,
a got.
if you're
got a
listening
copy.
and you got Eddie's Fire Emblem, please give it back.
Yeah. So I because I got the money back for that and they
Right.
like apologized and everything. That's how I ordered Astral Chain and then Astral Chain and Link's Awakening. I ordered that. And I got those games. But yeah,
You got
it
a
was-
physical of Astral Chain though, didn't you?
yeah, I have a physical Astro, physical of
Bring it
most
with
of all.
you in March. Michael wants to play it. So bring it with you in March. Michael wants to play it.
I will. I'll bring it. I'll definitely bring it. The only physical I didn't get this year was Luigi's Mansion. That was the only Nintendo
Oh, you didn't
physical
get-
I didn't get.
Why didn't you get it physically?
I bought it digitally, and then I was having car problems. So to make
Oh.
sure that I had like the game and still some cash before I spent my money getting my car fixed, I just
Yeah.
like I'll take the 300 coins that you guys are offering, and I
Yeah.
just bought Luigi's Mansion digitally. Like
Nice.
I'm mad and everything. Pokemon I had to have physically. Like I got the collection and everything.
Yeah.
So
Right on. So I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna give you the fastest highlights and lowlights. I'm gonna start at lowlights. My lowlight is that why the fuck is Spectre Knight's awesome scythe buried behind him instead of like out and righteous and taking up more space than it should? My highlight? King Knight looks like he's rocking some serious fucking sass in that pose. Like, girlfriend.
he is telling the truth. I'm like,
Oh
I'm
my
looking at the
God.
look. I'm looking at mine right now.
Bend on the chest and the hand on the like. Fucking great.
I
All
didn't
we
know you
need is
got
the
it.
finger wag.
Right. I don't know. I think you're getting the scepter wag right there. He's giving you the scepter wag, which is even more impressive than the finger wag. So
I need a new job.
So some highlights for this year. This year has been awesome for me personally as a hard copy hound. The Hollow Knight just delivered.
This year?
That was early this year, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I,
I told you, it all bleeds together for me.
I know, doesn't it?
I still have to pick it up. I've been waiting for the physical version of Hollow Knight and just still haven't gotten
It's
it yet.
available. Go get it.
Is that Best Buy? I was gonna pick it up, but I'm just like, I'll wait.
Dude, just go direct to
Hello.
Fangamer. Help yourself out. So you can get the big pretty collector's edition from Fangamer. Yep. Because that was not a limited print for them. That was, yeah, right. So you can still get the big pretty edition.
Fuck, I wish I'd
Which-
known that.
Speaking of highlights, a related highlight, that was the unboxing for Hollow Knight was our first
Oh
real
yeah.
major
Yes.
success on our YouTube channel. trailing, that's still seeing a handful of views a day, actually. And we've actually topped out over 4,000 on views on that. So as of current. So thank you to everybody. That was an awesome couple of days when that happened. Some other highlights. Blasphemous this year was so damn good. And it got so little fucking attention in terms of coverage. And I can't begin to fathom why, because honestly, the whole Metroidvania genre kind of felt like it was taking a little bit of a breather this year by comparison, even in the indie department where it's really thrived and gone balls to the wall over the last several years, much to my delight. But Blasphemous really delivered on a phenomenal experience. And same can be said for Robot Named Fight. Robot Named Fight kind of gave me a fresh way to scratch the itch that Dead Cells created for me the year prior.
Yeah.
So, just in a different way, like we talked about. Some other highlights include getting to have Matt Bittner on with us this year was just spectacular, and can't wait to have him back. Hopefully, this episode's going up mid-January, but hopefully over the next couple months as the show comes back into full swing, with some changes and adjustments as we tweak the format and adjust the cast layout and everything, and Michael comes on board with us. Some other highlights, just kind of on the back end and on the in regards to the show, getting myself personally more into streaming. Kathy did me a huge, amazing solid for my birthday with the Elgato, and getting to stream into my console library as opposed to limited to just my PC selection has been an absolute delight. This month especially, now that I've picked up almost the last couple odds and ends, but we're streaming the Metroid Prime trilogy this month. There's probably going to be a small break between Prime 2 and Prime 3 as I need to pick up the last couple things to get situated on the couch to run Prime 3, since that's on the Wii and that's full pointer control. But we're almost there, and we've still got plenty of Echoes to go through, which is my favorite of the Prime trilogy still.
Interesting. Oh yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
And all those are, going up on the YouTube channel, day after day. So there's tons of content happening there.
Have you streamed it recently?
Not in the last couple days, but I'll actually be on later today streaming more. So that'll be going down. We're going to start digging a little deeper into Torvis since we wrapped up the Aegon Waste and Amorbus and picked up the Dark Suit. So
okay.
But yeah, some other highlights after probably almost 20 years of friendship and almost 4 years now of being the very first dedicated fan to the show. Having Michael joining us going forward has me super fucking excited. I will forever adore his special brand of grump. It's okay, I still love you.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so cute.
So,
my cute face.
But yeah, trying to some other highlights. Just having a small fortune to blow that irresponsibly over the last couple months on video game shit that made me happy.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, it'll cost me later, but fuck it. I deserve nice things on occasion. So, other highlights include just a phenomenal year with all of you, including Dylan and Adele, who aren't on with us today, but just the friendships and the time and the bonds built and everything else has been a spectacular part of my year and of my life. Looking forward to, the next year, growing more of it and, just building on what we've established and going forward. Lowlights, honestly, like I said, it kind of felt like a weird breather year for my Metroidvania games. There's some that I'm looking forward to in the coming year. Gleamlight looks really fucking cool. Hoping that kind of scratches a little more of that Hollow Knight itch, since there's probably a 75% chance we don't see Silksong in 2020, honestly.
I think we'll see it. I think we'll see it in the fall.
I don't know. We might see it. I don't think it's going to release 2020.
Release.
I'll phrase it that way.
I think right now it depends on the Nintendo Direct and E3. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Other lowlights include starting the year off with the news that all the Prime 4 development had been scrapped and restarted.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking sucked. But we'll see where that goes. It's been a weird year of speculation in terms of what the fuck's happening there.
But Larry, isn't it weird that Halo 4 was done by some of the old retro team? And the art director, I think he did Halo 4, is coming back to do Metro Prime 4. So the art is
pleases me greatly.
I think the art is going to be insane. Like, and it'd be one thing that I would want an art book of Metro Prime 4.
Right.
Like,
I will say I have this weird personal speculation that Prime 4 may not be as far behind the 8 ball as everybody thinks.
I think it is. But I think we will see more of it in 2020. I think we would definitely get trailers. I think we would see some gameplay, probably some interviews. I think they're gonna go. I think Nintendo's ready to go all out on Metro Prime 4. It just depends, because they said they was even hiring more people.
All out on the fucking trilogy on Switch already. Damn it.
Yes. Or the other M. Get that out again.
Other M I could see. Yeah. I
don't think they're gonna touch Other M again. That just did not land well for them. Now, what I would be on board with is Mercury Steam doing the Fusion remake on Switch.
Ooh.
Considering that was teased at the end of Samus Returns.
Right.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Because that's why I'm sitting here scratching my head over the latest rumor that, they're talking about remaking Super. I'm like, no, don't fucking touch Super. Do Fusion, which you already teased. And
Super needs to be touched.
Direct connects to Metroid 2.
No, Super does not need to be touched.
Super needs to be touched.
No, it doesn't.
Super.
Okay, let me rephrase. There are a couple of super minor things that could be streamlined a touch. They could tighten up the having to wait on every item jingle.
Mm-hmm.
If you're okay with that, you could probably tighten up and retouch the menu system a little bit. I'd be okay with that. Just
the menu system. Okay, yeah. I think when you go to the ghost ship, I think that needs to be touched up. I would love more.
What?
I think that needs to. They didn't let that section breathe, in a sense. But the ghost ship, the way that to open up everything, you kind of have to fight the boss and then explore the ghost ship. I want that literally. It's okay, but I'm like, this could have been straight creepy and horror. It wasn't to me. Compared to Metroid Fusion, where that game is pretty much a survival horror game.
Well, again, difference in design. I mean, that section had the horror element for the game, but it wasn't a horror game, whereas Fusion much more was.
Right. But I would love for them to really go in, add some more rooms. Don't fight the boss yet. Build it up. like really make it like super creepy. Like just before you get the final blow, he disappears, and now you got to fight him in another room, or just some craziness. Like I think they could touch that up right there, because I always felt like this. I understand what they were going for, but I'm like, y'all could have built on this, and it felt like you guys really ran out of time or didn't really have ideas. So we'll just do this and then put it in the game.
I don't know. It's valid if that's your feel on it. I never got that impression out of it.
I did, and plus it's gonna graphically look gorgeous. Like Super Metroid needs to be like.
It'll look gorgeous if they do it right, but if they lean into the art style that they did for Samus Returns on Switch, no, do not do that. Like go like full 2.5D uber high res. I mean, Michael,
It needs.
you've seen the desktop wallpaper on my PC.
Mhm.
It should look like that.
I think it needs like a comic book look or a manga style look, like some dark, dark lines and stuff.
No.
I don't know.
So, but I mean, that's personal opinions.
Yes.
I don't know, other lowlights. I don't know, no news on Prime Trilogy or just whatever the hell Retro had been fucking working on. I'm really tired of that being a big fucking blank spot year over year. Like at this point, I don't even care if whatever the hell they were working on for the last 6 years was canceled. Just want to know what the fuck it was. Somebody tell me. Answer the question here. So,
Well, what if they really weren't working on anything? Just saying.
doubt it.
Just saying.
Oh, I know.
Just
think-
saying.
I'd be shocked if they weren't working on something.
I think after
Okay.
Tropical Freeze, they probably did have something planned, and I think Nintendo canceled it.
Maybe.
For the. Yes. But
So,
yeah.
Let's see what else.
You're just never going to get your Metroid Prime 4, let's be honest.
No, I'll get Prime 4. The one I won't ever get is fucking Metroid 5.
You won't get any more Metroids. Metroids is done.
I don't think Metroid 5.
It's all done. You just need to need to come to terms with it, Larry. Metroid is
No,
dead.
I refuse. Lifetime of denial I'll live. So, I don't know, other lowlights, Game Awards, I think this year was a lowlight for a couple of reasons. One, I suspect we very much saw the impact of Reggie not being with NOA at the Game Awards this year, because Nintendo's presence was very lacking, obviously. Which leads me to believe, like you said earlier, that a lot of their heavy presence in the awards the last, the first 4 years was probably a lot of Reggie's doing. The other lowlight, though, is I think as a result of it feeling very lackluster in terms of announcements this year, kind of all the way around, truthfully, not just Nintendo, is that it also very much highlighted how much the Game Awards fails as an awards program, because really it felt like all that was left, for the most part, should have been the awards themselves and the presentations to the winners, and so much of it is glossed over so fucking fast, where
Yeah.
full category and a winner gets 3 seconds, and then it's like, this was an opportunity to turn it into an awards show and really let that portion breathe. And they didn't. They just filled it with more crap of so little substance.
It felt like, once again, there's not enough diversity in the Game Awards. Like, everything really felt the same. I'm like, Nintendo only getting one category, and they're the ones that been like really bringing out great quality games and stuff that people been talking about, and you guys not going to even, like, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem was sold out for almost the whole month of August, and it's only part of one category, and then it just gets announced and then moved on. Like that really isn't justifiable to me. There was a ton of tight indie games. Katana Zero should have been up for a lot of awards. Just a lot of stuff should have been up for awards, and it didn't even get a blip of it.
It felt very monochromatic.
Mm-hmm.
So
like I don't know. They really like. We don't need the esports stuff. Y'all could y'all could do that for the quick stuff because we don't know who these players are, and if we don't have no kind of exposure to them, how are we gonna really vote for that?
I think probably my last low light of the year was Blasphemous being so grossly overlooked. A game that deserving getting so little attention boggles my mind. So, I mean, granted, it definitely got a hot minute in the limelight with LRG, but then past that, nobody's really spent time talking about it except for the handful of us. Truthfully, most of the major outlets gave it no real love or attention like it honestly deserved. And don't get me wrong, it had some faults, but the package as a whole was just spectacular. That game was so devoted and committed to speaking no language but its own, even in terms of gameplay and directive. It delivered everything in context and flavor of the game, rather than here's all the dialogue and story this way, but here's your mission objective in plain idiot speak. And that it made it a little bit of a struggle to kind of find a few objectives and points. The fact that they refused to break character, I thought, was a tremendous accomplishment and commitment on their part. And it deserves more recognition and notoriety than it ever got. So that felt like a low light to me personally.
Actually, that and Valkyries, that rocket shooting game.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was hyped for this stuff, and then it came out and just not much.
Disappeared. Nobody talked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little puzzling, but so I want to end this with a quick rapid fire here from everybody. We'll go around the table, so to speak. One thing, 100% confirmed, lockdown 2020 that you are beyond fucking pumped for. Kathy, go.
Oh, a computer that works.
God damn it.
Fair.
She preaching the truth. I'm not gonna lie.
That's really what I'm hoping for. A computer that does not crap out on me like this one has this year. And it hasn't been the computer. It's been stupid shit. So.
And Josh.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
I'm getting really hyped for that game. So I'm going to probably take some time off when it comes, like a couple of days anyway, when it comes off, just so I can play really get into it.
Michael.
Darksiders. So I can finally finish the fucking statue set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Eddie, 2020 lock. What are you hyped?
Xbox Series X.
All right.
Sleek design. Really.
Yeah, it's 2020.
Dude.
Really?
That green light at the top when it glowed, I'm like, okay, even though this looked like a dope speaker, I want this in my room. Like it.
I'm still in the mindset, like I said, 2001 Space Odyssey called it once, it's Obelisk back.
Oh, wow.
I know.
But that is.
On that note, too, I actually do enjoy that they're changing up the form factor a little bit.
Yes.
We don't need all consoles to look alike.
No, we don't.
I don't know. I have several that look drastically different, like my GameCube and my Switch, and
Right.
So,
But you know what I
But
mean?
they're all
like
Nintendo.
the big boys, you know.
yet they experiment.
yeah. Nintendo's always been
True.
that way.
I don't know. PlayStation's experimenting with that pizza slice warmer.
Wow. That George Foreman grill.
Yep.
Aha. So, and I will throw out there my 2020 lock that I am super fucking hyped for is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the fact that it's getting collectors with a steelbook. Oh,
Which I still cannot find that link.
I know there's no fucking link. I don't think there's a listing anywhere yet. Just
There
confirmed
isn't.
it's happening. So,
Dude, 'cause
I'm actually
like literally once that come online, if you have to order two, Larry, I would straight send you some money if I miss it because I'm like I need this. Like
yeah.
literally.
And I'm
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was my
cheat, and I'm gonna throw one more in. My 2020 lock that I am super fucking hyped for is another fucking tremendous year with my friends, you guys.
Aww.
Us.
God
But-
damn you, Larry.
Now I'm gonna get the fields, and I really didn't want to field today.
I don't need. Yeah.
Damn.
That's exactly.
In the middle of my Fortnite battle too. God damn it, Larry. That just distracted me.
So, but I
Aw.
want to say thank you for to all of you for joining in for the 2019 year in review and a brief look ahead. You know, the opportunity to introduce Michael, who's going to be joining us going forward. It's been too long since we've fucking done this, and I can't wait till we get to get back into the regular swing of this shit. So, with that said, everybody say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
All right. And we'll see you guys next time on World 1-1 Podcast. Bye.
Peace.